Hello and welcome to this FIFA 18 experiment. Today I have put together the most controversial team of players that are still in FIFA 18 and still playing football right now. I've got about 26 players in this team and they're all in the West Brom squad. We'll see if this team can win the Premier League. So first of all, let's just go through the team and see each player and see what they've done wrong and what makes them really hated or disliked by fans or whatever. Is it something they've done that just stands out as something wrong and something that they shouldn't really be doing? Let's start off with Luis Suarez. Now he sometimes gets hungry in matches and decides to have a little nibble at the players. Not the greatest thing to do whilst you're on camera on TV, but you know what? He does it anyway. And that's how he becomes so good at football. He sucks all the life or his skill out of the other players by eating them. That's how he's so good. He's a 92 rated player. Messi, now Messi's quite liked by a lot of people. He's a very good player, but because he's so good at it, he gets a lot of hate from jealousy. So that's one thing. People hate how good he is sometimes, especially some of the defenders. But he had a massive tax issue, or he broke the law with tax evasion, and he had a massive fine, and people were like, well, you should be paying taxes, why are you not paying taxes? And people didn't like him for that, and that was one of the controversial moments of Messi's career. Now, Ashley Young, he's a guy who loves diving in the penalty area. If he can get a penalty, he will do so. Now, it makes sense, yeah, you want to get as many penalties as possible, but the way he goes about it, the amount of penalties he got, especially during the Ferguson era, he got penalty after penalty after penalty. Another United player, Fellaini, he's pretty much hated by every Manchester United fan. He looks like a clown, he plays like one. I mean, I remember watching the game, we were winning 1-0, and he came on with about 20 minutes to go. In the last minute, he decided to commit a foul in the penalty box, a reckless challenge that didn't have to be committed, get a red card, and the penalty that he gave away was scored. So we ended up drawing the game. And people hate him for that, and the fact that he just keeps playing, he's not really playing that well, it frustrates the Manchester United fans. Busquets, if you go near this player, you have to hold your breath, because if you breathe near him, he'll fall over. Go anywhere near him, he'll fall over. He loves rolling around on the floor, so be careful. Robben's another one who seems to fall over quite a lot. A lot of the fans, some say other clubs, like Dortmund fans for example, I hate watching him play when they're playing against him because he just seems to fall over and seems to dive a lot. Maybe not as famous as some of the players like Busquets at that. Now, Dani Alves, now he does do a bit of diving, but it's not the diving that really annoys the supporters and the players on the pitch. It's actually the fact that he fakes injuries in such a way, making it look like one of the players had done a malicious challenge on him, and it was much worse than it actually was, getting players sent off left, right and centre. He seems to have a way of being able to move his leg away quickly enough so that it looks like it's being kicked in the leg. Ramos, now he has done a lot of things in his time. He's made some incredible tackles, but he has got over 22 red cards, making him the record red carder in the Liga. Pepe, he's a nasty player. He gets a lot of stick from his aggressive tackles, unneeded stamps, and just being very hurtful to some of the players by being very violent in the matches. If they take the ball away from him, sometimes he just goes and stamps on them and does horrible things. He's not really a good player, not really a good sportsman, and that's how he makes this list. Now Marcelo, he's not that controversial, but he celebrates less when his team score. He actually celebrates a lot when he gets someone a red card or he manages to dive in the box and get a penalty. He thinks that's more, well, he thinks that's better than scoring a goal. He really does. It's quite weird how he just thinks that doing that is better. But in goal we've got Demirel. He's a Turkish player. He loves confrontations with other players. He loves a bit of a fight. He's a very loudmouth player, and he loves getting into people's faces and just annoying them so much. The substitutes. The top four here: Myhill, Livermore, Evans and Barry. Now they all play for West Brom. And yeah, this wasn't the smartest thing they could have done in their entire life. They went over abroad somewhere and they decided to get a taxi. All four of them in this taxi. And obviously the taxi driver drove them somewhere, and then for some reason the taxi driver decided to get out. One of these players got in the driving seat and drove off. So, I mean, they stole a taxi. Wow. That is surprising. You think these players have so much money, they have so much potential, they can do so much of it, and then they decide to try and throw it away, committing a crime like that. It's just stupid. Rooney, now he's hated a little bit. He's done quite a few things. I remember in the past for England, he used to get sent off in crucial games and be really annoying in that sense. Also, he did have a few affairs and he did have a few bar fights as well, so he's been a bit all over the place over his career. But he seems to settle in quite well at Everton right now. Costa, oh, he is quite a funny one to watch. He just, oh, he's so annoying. He gets into everyone's faces. He's always trying to get someone sent off. And it's actually quite entertaining to watch if you're a neutral supporter of the teams that you're watching. Icardi, now he's done a couple of things. He's had an affair with one of his teammates' wives, which isn't a good thing. Also, he wrote in his autobiography that he hates his fans and he complained about his fans. And that really makes the fans of his club hate him so much. When he misses a penalty, the players or the fans in that team cheer for him. So that's not great at all. Evra, he's done a kung fu kick. And then John Terry, if you've got a girlfriend or wife, make sure they don't get anywhere near this player because bad things may happen. Now Tevez, he moved from Manchester United to Man City, something you should never do. Never move to the derby team or the rival team from the team you're at, because that is just horrible for the fans. And he then decided to refuse to play against Bayern Munich in the Champions League. And then he then took 6 months out. He just left the club and didn't play, didn't turn up for 6 months. What? You've been paid all this money and he decided to not play for 6 months. That is ridiculous. Balotelli, he is the why always me guy. He had that famous shirt and he pulled it up and it was very hilarious. He got sent off every single match pretty much. Down with De Jong now. He kung fu kicked with his studs up into Xavi Alonso, which is not a good thing. And he's had a few aggressive tackles. He's the kind of guy who's addicted to leg breaks. He leg breaks everyone. He goes into everyone, studs up, and he's a horrible player to play against. Adebayor, now he hasn't done that much. I've only found one thing that he's done, but one of the things he did do was he moved clubs, and then he scored a goal with that club against his former club. And then he ran it across the pitch to the other end where his former supporters were, and then he celebrated. How cruel is that? Don't do that if you're a player. Now, RVP, Robin van Persie, he's hated by some of the Arsenal fans. He was a legend. He was very, very good at football. He was the best striker since Henry at the time. He was scoring goals left, right and centre. But what he did do was he moved to Manchester United, which is not a good thing. They're rivals. Manchester United benefited a little bit, which is quite nice for me because I'm a Man United fan, but the Arsenal fans suffered from not having that quality striker and then having him score goals against them. That's the worst feeling for a fan. Then Ashley Cole, you know, there's been a few people on here that have done some crazy things. This guy shot someone. Ashley Cole shot someone on work experience with an air rifle. I mean, that is an experience, isn't it? I mean, you go to work for work experience, you know, you don't expect to get shot, but he did. And it was done by Ashley Cole. So this is the team. I've taken a long time. I've kind of gone on quite a lot. But I think it was necessary to get across the message of who these players are and what they've done. Now, I'll simulate a season. We'll find out how these players perform over a season. I'll show you the halfway point. I'll show you the end of the season, the cup, the player ratings, and the goals and assists that these players score for this club. There's a lack of strength in depth, actually. There's no left mid, so it's just going to be a left back. Hopefully that won't impact things too much. I'll simulate it, and we'll find out exactly what happens. We've just been sacked, which means things can't have gone that well. We have a 37 rating out of 100. We got sacked with all those players, Messi, Suarez. They've got an insane amount of players that are good in their squad, but I got sacked. And this is before the halfway point. I think there's like 3 games left before the halfway point. Yes, okay, Huddersfield. So even though they're 20th, hopefully they don't sack me as well. We'll take the job. At the halfway point in the season, West Brom are 18th. Okay, I was expecting more from the players in that team that I've created because, yeah, 18 points from 19 games. You have Messi, Suarez. I was expecting better. There's a few weak points in their side. Yes, they've got no left mid, but I don't know. I was expecting a bit more from them. That is very, very surprising. Here's the final league table. We did an experiment on what if the most controversial players played in the Premier League, could they win the Premier League? And the answer to that question is no. They came 16th place, 40 points, 3 points above relegation, so they managed to survive and they had a better second half to the season than the first half. But they are 37 points behind Chelsea, who are in first. So even with Messi, Suarez and all these awesome players, the other weaknesses in their squad let their side down, and it meant that they ended up coming 16th. So these controversial players just don't play well together. But let's look at the cups. In the FA Cup, West Brom, they beat Fleetwood and then they lost 3-0 to West Ham. Okay, they got to quarterfinals, that's not too bad. And then in the Carabao Cup then, they ended up losing 3-0 to Chelsea, the team who won the Premier League, so that's fine. That's not what you'd expect, is it really? You wouldn't expect a team that comes 16th to be able to beat Chelsea, who come first. But the round 16, it could have been much worse, couldn't it, really? It could have been 5, 6, 7-0. Most appearing players in the side were Ian Robin and Ashley Young, who both played 38 games. The players who scored most goals actually was Dani Alves. Wow, the right back scored more goals than Luis Suarez. 6 goals more, and he played a lot less games. And 8 for Ian Robin. So unless they were playing him up front or something, that's crazy. So 4 assists for Luis Suarez, 3 for Icardi, Dani Alves and Ashley Young. And in terms of players that are involved in the most clean sheets, Ian Robin, obviously because he played so many games. I'm kind of surprised that Ashley Young only has 8 when he played the same amount of games in the Premier League as Ian Robin. Yellow cards was Dani Alves with 4, Young with 4 and Marcelo with 4. Red cards was 1 for Costa, Fellaini, Livermore and Busquets. Then the average rating, Icardi got a 6.6, the highest rated player, but he didn't play that many games. He only played 18 games. Adebayor only played 4 games, 6.5, but the man of the season, the MVP, has got to go to Dani Alves. 28 games played, 10 goals, 3 assists, 6 clean sheets, no red cards, a 6.5 rating. As a right back, being a top scorer at a club, that is incredibly impressive. But I don't get why the computer is simulated in this way. Like, Messi, why is he playing only 14 games? He's the highest rated player in the whole club. He should be playing a similar amount of games to Luis Suarez and Ashley Young and Ian Robin. So I think the coding of this game is a bit dodgy, and I think it could certainly be improved for future games. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video from the start to the very end. It's been a long one, I know, but I wanted to get everything across to you so you understood what was going on, and hopefully it was fairly entertaining. And if it was, make sure you subscribe and leave a like on this video so I know that you like the video, so I'll make more of them. And comment down below on any other suggestions, maybe on the same theme of can this team win the Premier League. That would be quite a cool one to do. I've done the most controversial, maybe I could do the most injured or something else. Could they win the Premier League? And we'll simulate a season and see what happens. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.